I need a minute. Just give me one moment. One moment. I'll be fine. So it happened. Stevie Nicks was on American Horror Story, and it was a sad episode, actually. It made me very sad, but it was also a really, really good episode, and I loved the way that they used Stevie Nicks, and I kind of knew what was coming, but still it made me really, really happy. She kind of presented herself, Stevie Nicks. Misty is upstairs, she's dancing and singing to Gypsy, and Fiona comes up there, and she says that she has someone there that wants to see Misty, and she's an old friend, and she's the White Witch, and even though I knew that that was coming, it still got me really, really excited. And so Misty, I think she's thinking in her mind that it's going to be Stevie Nicks, but obviously she doesn't want to like think that, because I don't think she thinks it's like beyond what could actually happen. And so she's walking through Robichaux's into the wall with all the pictures of the Supreme, all the past Supremes, and then standing right there is Stevie Nicks, and she's turned away from the camera, and then Misty's like, "Who are you?" And then Stevie Nicks turns around and she goes, "Oh, you're Misty Day. I'm Stevie Nicks." And then Misty just passes out, and I thought that was so adorable. That would have been my reaction. I mean, I've seen Stevie Nicks twice, and I've cried both times. But I really, really liked Misty's reaction to that, and it made me really, really happy that Misty did get to finally see Stevie Nicks, because Misty is one of those characters that I just relate to and I love on such a deep level, just because she's one of those ones. She does not have a lot going for her. She has a lot of terrible things happening. Her family abandoned her and burned her at the stake. She has no friends. And I kind of like a part of that too, just because she's taken all of that and she owns it. She knows she doesn't know what's going on. She's not positive where she's going or where she belongs, but she's smart enough to know to stay true to herself, and she'll eventually find where she needs to go. And I like that she finally gets some credit, and she finally was like proven that she is worth something when her hero comes and meets her, and I thought that was just the sweetest thing ever. God, Madison in this episode made me incredibly angry, because right afterwards she kind of just tears down Misty, and obviously she's jealous because everyone thinks that Misty's going to be the Supreme. Misty does not want to be the Supreme. She kind of gets wrapped up in Stevie Nicks, as she kind of likes the idea of being Supreme, and now she kind of has this target on her that doesn't necessarily belong there. Everyone kind of wants her to be the Supreme so they can get rid of her in a really, really terrible way, and I guess that happens with the innocent characters, but it makes me really sad, but it is good for the plot. But Madison takes Misty to a funeral for someone I thought was Queenie, but it was not Queenie. It was another funeral in New Orleans, and she really gets right in to Misty and tells her that she's an imitation of Stevie Nicks, and she's built all this around her, and she doesn't even know, and she's stupid, which makes me so angry, because I do not believe, I really, really, really don't believe that Misty's stupid. I think she's smarter than anyone gives her credit for, and I think that she has no light in her life, and the one light that she does have comes from Stevie Nicks. She's built this hope of better tomorrow off of Stevie Nicks' music, and I don't think it's an imitation. It's an homage, if anything, to someone that she admires, who's given her strength through everything, and Madison obviously knows that, and that's the first thing she's going to tear apart and rip down any positivity she has. So that made me really sad. And of course, she resurrects someone. I don't know if she actually did that or if there was something else involved, and then she knocks Misty into the tomb and shoves her in there. So Misty can resurrect herself now, but she's now stuck in the tomb. And was not a happy camper. I did, both for the reason that, you know, I'm so attached to Misty, and also because I think people have forgotten that Misty is only in the coven because she's kind of been forced there by the witch hunters for, I may add, helping the witches at the coven with Kyle and with Myrtle, and trying to be helpful and stay in her own. She's now gotten thrown into all of this, and now she has this target on her head. It's just, it was a very good episode emotionally, because as much I do love Misty so much, obviously, as I've said 100 million times, and just how much I relate to her and with her Stevie Nicks, because in all honesty, Stevie Nicks has helped me through a lot of difficult times as well, so that adds another layer to why I relate to Misty. And also I think too I like her, and I would like to see her over Madison too, because I think Madison just perpetuates this real darkness that has destroyed everything this season and has caused all these terrible things to happen. And I think that Misty deserves to be Supreme. She deserves to have, even if she doesn't want it, I don't want to say that because that sounds kind of bad, but I think she deserves to be Supreme just because I feel like she maybe then would feel that sense that she does belong. Sorry, I got distracted by Tumblr for a second. Yeah, but back to Stevie Nicks. The two songs that they did on the show yesterday were Rhiannon, which I expected they were going to do that. That's the song that Misty really told Zoe for the first time her love of Stevie Nicks and why she loves Stevie Nicks so much, and Stevie played it on a piano that they had, in the coven, and they had this really cute shawl turn scene, which was so sweet, and it was kind of like a revamped version of Rhiannon 2, which was really cool. And the last song that they sang at the very, very end of the show was Has Anybody Ever Written Anything For You, which is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song, and it made me cry just a little bit, and it fit Fiona's storyline so well. They've done such a good job with choosing Stevie songs that really fit the plot this season, and it's really good. And I am glad that they really appreciate her and her music enough to really showcase it within the plot line. Last note on music, and this is more something I found is kind of like a missed opportunity, but they make reference to the 7 wonders, which are to be the supreme, you need to be the master of the 7 different types of magic, and that's why they want Missy to see if she can express that so that they can be sure that she's the supreme. There is literally a Fleetwood Mac song called 7 Wonders, and I don't know why they haven't used that yet. I feel like that's a bit of a missed opportunity. It's just lying right there. I don't know. And before I somewhat cease talking about Stevie Nicks and Lily Rabe, because I feel like that's all I do on this channel ever anymore, is I feel like Lily Rabe just does an incredible job with the character of Misty. Obviously, I think she was fantastic as Nora and as Sister Mary Eunice. Acting-wise, especially as Sister Mary Eunice / the Devil, but there's just something so genuine and true about how she plays Misty that is just one of the things that I don't know whether it's just because of how much I relate to her on a personal level, but she just does such a good job. Alright, other things happened on the show too. I know I focused mainly on Stevie Nicks and Lily, but can you blame me? I just love them so much. Alright, so in the other stuff that happens, we learn more about Marie Laveau's backstory and a little bit more on her immortality. She sold her soul to a man that's called Daddy, and he's like a voodoo king kind of type person, and in return she has to give him something every year, and this year it so happens to be a soul. Fiona comes into this as well because she wants to sell her soul. She's desperate right now to be immortal too, but then we find out she doesn't have a soul. So they kill Nan to give up a soul for 2 purposes, because Nan is starting to become even more of a danger because Nan thinks she is the supreme. She kills Patti LuPone by making her drink bleach, which kind of was a little bit of justice, you know, the ironic justice or whatever, and I really like that too, but it was a little bit sad that Nan died. She has been developing a little bit of an attitude that I didn't like, but still, I think she had a cool character, so I was a little bit sad to see her go. And so, at the end, when they play Has Anybody Ever Written Anything For You, it kind of touches upon all of the failures in Fiona's life, and now she doesn't even have a soul to be able to sell. And then also, Cordelia is trying so hard to help. And obviously the whole thing with Hank, and they're not happy with her right now. So her mother, Fiona, had slapped her, yelled at her, screamed at her, and now she's crushing herself. She thinks she's useless. And there was this really funny scene that while Cordelia's having like this absolute emotional breakdown, Myrtle is in the back playing this like space-sounding machine. It's like, and I don't know if it was meant to be, but it was absolutely hilarious. It was a funny moment. I really like Frances Conroy a lot. She plays, her characters have always been really cool in all 3 seasons, and I really like the character of Myrtle. And I'm starting to feel really bad for Cordelia, because I don't know what she's going to end up doing. And there does look like to be a war brewing, because the witch hunters now are coming to get them. And even though Marie Laveau and Fiona have somewhat teamed up, there's still animosity between them. But I went through so many emotions during this episode, and so if this is a little bit of a longer video, I apologize, but I hope you watched it, and I hope you liked it, and if you like American Horror Story, we need to talk about this in the comments, so comment, because I have so many feels. As if you follow me on Tumblr, you would know, because I did not stop, and I have not stopped, and I won't stop. If you liked it, and subscribe if you like me, and if you want to hear more about American Horror Story, because that seems to be what I'm doing right now, is just doing reviews and reactions to American Horror Story. So yeah, if you love Stevie Nicks as much as I do, or American Horror Story, or Missy, or another character, or anything, if you disagree with something I said, anything like that, say it in the comments down below, and I will see you next week for episode 11, which means that there's only 3 more episodes left, because there's only ever 13 episodes, and I don't know how it's going to wrap up. There seems to be a lot that has to get done. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and I will see you next week on the Pratt Pack. Bye, and remember, I didn't do this last weekend. Remember, on Wednesdays, we wear black, even though this video is always uploaded really, really late. On Wednesdays, we wear black.